Hey, we all love to go out to eat, but do we ever think, what happens behind the kitchen doors? What's it like running one of these restaurants? Well, that's what we talk about each and every week with our famed chef, Pascal. 25 years, 30 years, he had the famous Pascal's restaurant here at South Coast Plaza, and through that got to meet many famous people, and we're going to talk about that here today. What it's like to serve celebrities. From a celebrity himself, Chef Pascal, welcome, sir.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me and letting me talk about a special moment in my career. Because of course, cooking is one thing, but also having guests appreciate your food, but also I'm very happy when we have a celebrity that just show up at the door, or I cook for, or I do a catering for, and so through the last 40 years of my career, I have a little list of quite well-known people, including Brigitte Bardot.
Brigitte Bardot. Well, that's what prompted this today. The late, great Brigitte
Yes.
Bardot obviously passed away. She was in her 90s, I think, or something. I don't remember how old she was. But I think
She was born in 1934.
Oh, 1934. Okay. And so anyway, I mean, to an aging baby boomer like me, was there anybody more beautiful? After Marilyn Monroe in the 50s, there was Brigitte Bardot in the 60s.
She was an icon of beauty, but young, very young. I think she had a few scenes before her 20s.
Yeah.
She'd been already recognized. And then she...
She disappeared, kind of, yeah.
No,
Retired, pulled back, whatever. it was.
no. Before that, we're not there yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
There's a lot going on between that time she became known, and then the main thing that make actually Saint-Tropez what it is now.
Yes.
Because she created that buzz of Saint-Tropez being a star place to go on jet society, and so on the beach in Saint-Tropez, or it's called the beach of Ramatel, la plage de Ramatel. There was a little hunt restaurant, and they filmed a movie there with Mr. Vadim and
Roger
Roger
Vadim,
Vadim.
who later discovers turns into another beauty known as Jane Fonda.
Yeah.
Right.
And so they were married in 1956 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so they create this movie called God Created Woman.
That was the sensation that just sent her skyrocketing.
Thanks God. And of course, Brigitte Bardot has to be, the goddess too.
Right.
And so from that little hunt, they were filming that place right on the beach, and they were not actually filming some scenes, but also feeding the crew. And the crew was there just more to eat at the beach, and from feeding the crew, once the movie came out, there was a boom. They say, so they decided to call that place, it was a little hunt before, Club 55, because it was 1955. And Saint-Tropez just exploded right after that.
Now, you were born and raised in Normandy, which is obviously over on the English Channel, the scene of all the World War II battles and invasion of Normandy and all that. How did you get down to the south of France? Why did you go there? Why did you go to Paris or other places to cook?
Well, it's been, I'm sure it's still most of it, but the thing is, when you live in north of France, in the summer, you jump in your car and you drive 1,000 kilometers down south
To the sun.
to the sun. That's it, on the Mediterranean. You know? So we move away from a rainy area on colder summer, colder winter, to a nice place, and where you can smell the uh, the lavender.
And so many
or,
places
yeah.
that are legendary in our minds. Monaco,
Yeah.
which is a separate country,
Monaco.
but right there, Monaco, Nice,
Yeah, Nice, Bandol,
right?
Cannes.
Cannes, where
Come
the
on,
film
Cannes,
festival
yeah.
is. So why Saint Tropez? Because it wasn't really until she came along. She kind of put that on the map there.
Well, Saint-Tropez became a little bit like a little hideaway on the Riviera,
Hmm.
and a good stop for boarding. The sailboats on big yachts
Big yacht stuff, clearly, yeah.
start to come there, and it's a pretty village actually. It hasn't changed much, and it has little houses, little tag, just a few streets, and and right on the water, on a nice little harbor, and it's like in Cannes actually. There's a long walkway wherever the yachts are.
Kind of out on a jetty or a peninsula or something, yeah.
Yeah, it's a long waterboard right there, and people can kind of people watch.
Yeah,
You know?
right.
So you
Or-
don't know who drive, who own the yacht. Is that Jackie Onassis? Is that,
Yeah.
all these people just came by.
So here's a young chef. Was this your first assignment, first place you were cooking, a real chef at, or had you worked at other places?
Well, actually, I was not cooking. That's
Ah.
the only part of the story.
Okay.
I came from Lyon. In
Right.
Lyon, I worked in the 3 and 2-star Michelin, and Paul Bocuse on Léon de Lyon.
Famous Paul Bocuse, right?
Yeah.
Go look him up, right?
And so I got exposed already to some jet set customer on celebrity singers.
Yeah.
And
Coming into famous restaurants, right?
Exactly. And so I really enjoyed that. Actually, my first really famous dinner I served, and was with another group of who are culinary students. We served at the Royal Court of Belgium in Brussels.
The Royal Court of Belgium.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's
And
a
then
big
we
deal.
served the king and queen and all the head of state of European Union, because that was the day they signed the European Union.
Oh, the European Union?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I was one of the servers that was serving that celebrate that.
So what does it
dinner.
feel like? Come on, you're a little kid from a little town,
Yeah.
and suddenly you're in the court of the kings here.
Well, they dressed me up as a valet,
Sure. Yeah.
with all the thing and the bow on my shoes.
Bow
you
on
know,
your shoes,
yes,
of course. Right?
everything, and then you have somebody at the end of the table. You work with sign, you have to everybody has to put the plate down at the same time, pick it
Yeah.
up at the same time, and then they clap, and then boom, you go. Very special
Like
moment.
out of a movie, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Fairy tale.
And so that was my first experience to celebrity. And after that, when I moved on to Lyon at Paul Bocuse, I served famous people like, I don't know if you know, but a lot of people do, famous singer called Johnny Hallyday.
That one I don't know. No, I don't.
Johnny Hallyday was the #1 rock and roll, then crooner in France.
France.
Yeah,
The
he wa-
Elvis of
He
France.
was the own Elvis. Yeah, he was the own Elvis. And then other people that I met there. And then I went to another restaurant, 2-star Michelin, Léon de Lyon, and there I was a server. And I served, the most famous person I served there was Orson Welles.
Oh, Orson Welles. we'll stop for the. This is really about Brigitte Bardot because she passed away,
Yeah.
and you knew her and served her
Yes.
numerous times, and I just thought that's too good a story to let
Yes.
lay here.
So,
But you got to tell me, Orson Welles. There's another iconic person, big personality, big person.
but this is when I really appreciate to be able to take care of these celebrities, because Orson Welles came for lunch one day, and then on his way out, he told the owner of the restaurant, say, I want to come back tomorrow, but I want Pascal to be my server."
Really, he must have. Well, he was quite as you could tell by his. He was no slouch when it came to eating. He said he loved to eat, and
Yes.
so he became a
And
big man. But he really appreciated fine food and fine
totally,
dining.
and
Yeah.
we had some conversation. It was very nice, very jovial, and yeah, and so, uh, and then I moved down to Saint Tropez,
Right.
and I was hired in the Club 55. And the reason I was able to meet and get a little connected, not that
Sure.
much, but
Yeah, but
with Brigitte Bardot,
she would
because
recognize you and you'd say hello and welcome.
yeah, well, of course, but she was very discreet.
That's
Very-
what she was kind of like Greta Garbo, another famous actress of an early era.
Yeah.
When her fame got too big, she pulled back.
Yeah, you know, I'm a little bit protective of celebrities. You know, like even at the Club 55, was owned by a family called de Colmont. Patrice and Jean de Colmont created
Okay.
that monster celebrity restaurant, and they will never call a paparazzi to come take picture.
That's one of the things we're going to talk about. In addition to whatever recollections, I'm just a geek. I got to hear some of the recollections of Brigitte Bardot, and I'll tell you some of my fantasies or stories as a young boy of she was just like the ultimate icon. Oh my goodness, Raquel Welch, Brigitte Bardot, the most beautiful women in the world. But I, as you know, many years when I was younger, was an entertainment publicist, a celebrity publicist, a press agent, and handled and worked with many, many very famous people. Anthony Quinn, Jose Feliciano, Johnny Mathis, and whatnot through the years. So I have an insight into what it's like to work with celebrities. And it can be demanding, they can be difficult, but they can also be very generous and it's some sort of magic that
Well,
floats around them. I don't know what to say.
yes, yes, it's the two sides of that. You know, some restaurateurs, they want to brag about who is coming.
Absolutely. They
and
build
to-
their whole
but they
reputation on who was seen here.
They
Yeah.
use it as an advertising.
Right.
My way to advertise, when a celebrity come, they're coming because I keep them
Private.
in private and in a peace place.
And that's really what they're looking for. They're looking to step out of the spotlight and just enjoy their life. Yeah.
Exactly, and until I put them up front when everybody's going to see them, I like to see them in a way back corner and on their like that, you know. And most of them, you know, because of that, come back. Even my restaurant was in Newport Beach, but I had celebrities driving from Marina del Rey, from Los Angeles.
Oh, and there's certainly many celebrities that still live in Orange County here. They like the lifestyle.
yeah.
They live quietly down in Laguna or Newport or someplace
So,
there.
so Brigitte Bardot, to go back to her,
Tell me the first time you remember you saw. She walks in the because you had
She
to be
actually-
you had to be wowed like we are. This is Brigitte Bardot.
She
This
was
is-
not, when I met her, she was not at the Club 55 because there was too many people there. You know, people were gone crazy. The Club 55 had a sister restaurant open for dinner in town, Saint-Tropez, called Chez Palmyre. And it was a very small, quaint place. And so she went there just quietly. And
Because she lived in Saint Tropez.
oh yeah, right there. All right, if you are in the center of that little village, I forgot there is a name in Italy. They look a bit less same, but so you take a little street, a little chemin, or they call it a road in France, but it's a chemin, and then at the end of the road, then you're almost on the beach. Then you had the little gate on the right, and very discreet. Couldn't even see the house. She was living way in the back,
Yeah.
and right there on the beach.
And I'm always amazed, like if you go up to Beverly Hills or other places, some celebrities are strange. I can say this from personal experience going out to places. Sometimes they want to go and be seen. So you have places up in Beverly Hills. I don't know if it's still like that, but was for years. The Polo Lounge, the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Yeah, yeah.
And you knew there were going to be celebrities there. And they went in expecting to see other celebrities. And they were some of the biggest gawkers. I can tell you big celebrities I went with who would start telling me, oh, look who's over there. Look who's over there. I'm like, everybody's looking at you.
Yeah.
But you're looking around to judge and see who else is in the room and stuff here. They're just as guilty of this as everybody else.
It's to see and to be seen.
To see and be seen. And then there are clearly restaurants that they go to because nobody makes a fuss. And they go sit in the back quietly and they get their favorite food. The Sinatra kind of Rat Pack out in Palm Springs, the legendary places they would go, and nobody knew they were there. They snuck in and snuck out.
And hopefully, because most of these restaurants had a lot of banquet seating,
Yes.
you talk loud enough to make sure that the producer in the back know
Yes.
know you want to be an actor.
So there were times they were doing, honest to God, to go out and see and be seen, and somebody say, "Oh, is he still alive? Is she still working? Oh, yeah, I forgot about them." Or to the up and comers to be seen in the crowd, maybe get. I loved going to. I went to New York sometimes just on junkets or with press tours with people.
Yeah.
We'd get them on Good Morning America or something like that, and to go to some of the famous places like Sardi's. And I'm assuming Sardi's is still there, but right next to the Broadway playhouses, and they would come in. You'd come in after the play was over, and if it had just premiered, everybody would politely applaud. And, and you had your celebrity, those sketches they had, like they did at the Brown Derby for years.
They signed the wall.
All over the wall. So there they wanted to clearly be part of the scene. But so many times, if you were handling celebrities, as that's what they say, handling them, protecting them, you knew when they wanted to be seen and when they wanted to be private.
Well, also, you have to be discreet. This is why, I was not sure I would talk about my
you're still uncomfortable.
stories,
You're still protective all these years later.
Yeah,
she passed away, but you're still preserving these things.
I like to be very protective of their privacy, and but I'm going to tell you a few.
All right.
Stories.
And were you like? Here's another thing. There's always an impulse to take pictures with a celebrity to say, look, particularly in today's world, the social media world.
Yeah.
I wish I had many, many famous celebrities I met. Some of the greats, Gregory Peck, Jimmy Stewart, all these people, and I refused to have my picture taken because that was gauche. That was below me. I'm part of the inside crowd. I'm not supposed to be. If you're part of their crowd, working around them, their agents, their managers, you're serving them dinner, you're doing something, you're supposed to treat them just as average people.
I'm exactly the same.
Yeah.
And I don't ask them to sign anything for me.
Take a picture.
And sometimes I regret, but that's how it is. And no picture, and nothing on the wall, even though some of them did sign my wall. But so yeah, and so.
Because I always found the best way to deal with celebrities is not to gawk, but to just treat them as ordinary people. You recognize, yes, hi, welcome, I appreciate your films, or whatever quick comment you want to say, if you say anything, but to treat them, and I would joke with them and laugh with them and stuff, and people would be shocked, oh, you're speaking up. Like, you don't have to be servile, you don't have to be a servant. They appreciate if you just talk to them like a regular person.
Sure. And what they may give you value. That we are serving you, we take care of you and respect you. But so the main thing with Brigitte Bardot was in 19.
Just when you say it, Brigitte Bardot, I go,
No, in France we used to call her Bibi.
Yes, Bibi.
Bébé.
She was a national icon. She was a treasure.
Oh yeah, totally. And in 1984, Actually, thinking a little bit earlier the year because our birthday was in September.
Okay.
So, uh,
Says you. I don't know when her birthday was. She never told me when her birthday
I think that was the 18th or the 28th of September. But the the she where I work at Club 55, the owner, Patrice de Colmont, came to me and said, Pascal, because I was doing celebrity catering at their homes in the villas
Ah,
that they had
okay.
around, and say, okay, you're going to do a catering for Brigitte Bardot 50th birthday.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh
Oh,
my
so
goodness.
everybody was very excited. The kitchen, the service staff, everybody, and suddenly around 4 o'clock, the owner came back to me and said, "Oh, it's been canceled.
Oh,
She she has decided to not celebrate her 50th birthday because I didn't want people to, I guess, to know that she
yeah.
was turning 50.
Yeah, that's a hard age if you're
It's
a
tough.
beauty queen, right?
Yeah. So that was my last chance.
That was it. You could have gone up and catered Brigitte. So but she came in the restaurant and did she recognize you? Did you say,
No, no,
welcome, how are you, or
no,
something?
no.
Did you
But
know?
she was, I saw her only once at Palmyra. She was very gracious. But she also, at that time, she was more public. Uh, she used to go shop at the farmer's market like once a week with all
Amazing. And
farmer's bag and
there are communities like that, sort of like Beverly Hills, where you can walk around and people won't follow the over the stuff. They notice you, but they don't. They leave you alone. And then there are communities that people would just go gaga and draw
yeah.
a crowd or something.
And very on board because you could see, well, because maybe could not say, oh, this is Brigitte when she was driving, but she was driving a car called Mary. It's a little Citroën that looked like a mini Jeep Mach.
Oh, okay.
No, you call it a Mach? Or
Yeah, I know what you're
golf
moped
car-
type
mop-
of thing, or
yeah,
whatever. Yeah,
like
open seat.
a gun, like a golf cart type,
Right.
and very special, 2 horsepower, very small engine, and was all one piece of basically plastic, the whole thing, with 2 holes on the bottom for the rain, so it can be any weather.
The rain can go
that
through
that
it.
car will never rust, and so she was driving that, and she usually, because she, of course, we all know she loved dogs and cats, but she drove around with her dogs in the back.
Now, was she a vegetarian? Because she was clearly into animal rights. That's what she devoted most of her life to.
She recommend to have no meat on the plate.
Yeah,
She
I would
didn't
think.
say vegetarian or vegan, like that. Said no meat on the plate because she was an activist to protect the way we raise animal, even in farm. She banned hunting,
Yeah.
and we
And
used.
quite a vocal activist. She'd show up at
Oh.
public hearings and use whatever
Oh,
celebrity she had to draw attention to this. And
They have hunting laws changed because of her. They have a lot of way to raise animal, new laws because of her, and no fur, also the fur,
yes,
because
clearly.
at that time we people used to wear seal fur, the
Yeah,
seals,
right.
and then so she banned that
Which was
totally.
horrible. They would belt these baby seals over the head.
Yeah.
They'd bat him over the head to
Oh,
get the
it's terrible,
babies.
the cruelty, unbelievable. And she managed to do that, not just in France, but worldwide.
Yeah.
So
So I'll tell you my little Bridget. I never met Brigitte Bardot, clearly, but I did meet many celebrities. But there was a movie, I had to pull it up here. It was called Dear Brigitte. You would not know this. 1965, with Jimmy Stewart and Brigitte Bardot. It was a comedy, and starring Billy Mummy, who was on Lost in Space and a very famous child actor of that whole period. Uh, and why I somehow must have related to him. He's about my age, must be. And he falls in love and sends a love letter to Brigitte Bardot. And he's
Oh,
like 12 or
oh,
something.
wow.
And somehow she comes to visit him. And that's the movie ensues and all this crazy stuff because she responds to this letter
Oh, that's
that
wonderful.
he writes this letter. So that to me just cemented her as a good person, as you know, the unapproachable idol who reaches down, and this little boy's captivated, as was I.
Yeah.
Everybody, every modern American male. I'm getting choked up talking about it here.
Maybe that was you.
Maybe it was me. Yeah,
That could have been you.
it could have been me,
Yeah.
Brigitte Bardot. So, sorry,
So from
doesn't
that,
happen.
my I got lucky, and because of my a little bit of my past, when I got hired at the Club 55, at that hub on the beach of all the, it became a hub of celebrity people, stars and singers, and the owner say, Pascal, there's a section there. See, there's a little square in the back, and nobody can cross through it. This is all my VIP.
Ah,
You in
okay.
charge of them. So from that, um, there was more people than Brigitte Bardot that I served.
You wrote a list out. You got a whole long list of people. Just do a
yeah,
quick
well,
recollection. Rattle
I
off some
can
names there.
say a few, Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson. Oh, that would be cool.
I
just to
had a
see.
little story. You want to hear it?
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
I always, I'm not going to get in trouble.
No, no.
But when he came before at lunchtime,
And
he,
Jack, if you're listening, you're welcome anytime to come to the show here.
yeah,
Open
and
invitation.
yeah, sure. Uh, if you got out of the boat, went to a little jetty, a wood jetty,
Right.
jetty,
Jetty,
and,
right?
jetty, and he looked like he missed his step. He went into the water.
Oh,
So
Jack.
he came, he, he came to the table all wet.
Ha!
And so with his big smile, just, oh, no matter, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It's
I'm Jack
warm, it's
Nicholson.
sunny, and fine. But suddenly he reached out into his shirt pants pocket and pulled out a whole pile of 500 franc bills.
Oh.
They were totally wet.
Ha!
So he removed his sun hat, put the sun hat under his chair, and lined up the bills to dry,
dry out?
while he had lunch.
Ha!
And so he was sitting above his cash.
Drying his money, drying his clothes
So
here.
that was very special. And, and then when he left, he took his money. And then,
That's the amazing thing about celebrities. I've met some casually or bumped into them at different things. And those are the stories we remember. And we tell everybody over and over. I've told a million of these stories, running into them at a grocery line or going someplace here, serving them, seeing them somewhere here. And I always thought, what a strange world that people are telling stories about meeting Pascal or Paul Roberts, not me, you probably, and remembering, oh, the day I saw him walking down the street, oh, the day I saw him, bumped into him here at the supermarket or something here. They leave an impression wherever they go. That's part of the aura that they carry, which I think in today's world, so many of them try and fight. They try and hide. They cover themselves up. They hide themselves. I don't want any recognition. I don't want anybody to do it. I don't know.
No,
Isn't that
I
part of
don't
the
mind.
fun of being a celebrity is to
I don't
have
mind
that?
sometimes people, there's not that many, but sometimes say, are you Chef Pascal? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
sure.
you Chef Pascal. We go to an event, and these young chefs come over. The one guy talked about working at a restaurant, and afterwards you had to say, you looked at him and said, "Did I fire you?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Did I remember?"
Oh, and then you say, oh, more than one time. Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
exactly. So I think that is, I get it can be a curse, but it's part of the blessing of people recognizing your public. And older celebrities, the ones I knew from the 40s and 50s and 60s when I worked in the industry, they took that as part of the responsibility. That was part of what they had to do, to be generous, to sign things. Not every minute, not all the time. Yes, sometimes you want to be left alone. But they didn't run from it. They weren't nasty about it. Today, so many of these young celebrities are mean and nasty. Get out of here. I'm not talking to you. I'm not signing anybody. I'm not doing it.
Why? It's not only them because
Come on, this is your
but no,
public.
but they are publicists and agents.
Yeah.
So the publicists and agents want to direct their
So
public life.
much so. Yeah, there were some famous ones. I mean,
Because it's all
I could
dangerous.
tell
You know,
stories of-
we know even a few days ago. We know you never know if a celebrity is going to have a bad reaction.
Right.
I mean, so you have to be careful.
But the people like Jimmy Stewart that I met, I'll give you my Jimmy Stewart story here. James Stewart, famous, one of the most famous iconic actors of the 40s, right? And so I used to do the UCLA Acting Awards, and we would get these iconic actors to come out and give an award, and part of it they had to give a little speech about how they got started. So no big deal, they could do this in their sleep. And most of them did. We had Gregory Peck, we had Carl Malden, we had people like that come out, and famous actors at the thing. So I'm the guy backstage handling them and directing them and telling them what to do. And most of them didn't pay 2 cents to attention to me. But Jimmy Stewart sent a package. We always send a package prior. Here's what we expect of you. Here's what we're asking you to do. Please prepare a little anecdote. He calls me up. My secretary answers the phone. She says, I don't know how to tell you this, but Jimmy Stewart's on the line for you. And I'm like, yeah, I thought this is a joke because I had told people I was such a fan of his. And he comes on with that. I'm a terrible accent, but he's like, Mr. Roberts, I'm just looking at your material. He was such a pro. He wanted to get it right. We're like, we're just thrilled you're showing up. Just wing it. You've done this a million times. But he was such a pro, and he was so gracious that night. He would stand there endlessly, everybody to get their picture taken with him. And I thought, that's old Hollywood. They were trained by the studios. It was a responsibility. They were on stage still, and they had to present themselves to the public. Don't turn people off by being an a-hole or a jerk in real life.
At those time, and I'm not saying it's an ancient time,
Right.
but it's quite a few decades ago, the only public connection they could have was personal.
That's true too.
But now there was no social media.
That's true too.
So it's very important that you work a relationship. It's like.
And it wasn't necessarily the paparazzi buzzing around, take every unflattering picture of you with your stomach hanging out or something here, because it wasn't the supermarket tabloids.
Same
and all
in
that
politics. They used to go door to door.
Stuff. Yeah.
Now, no, they're big advertising.
Yeah, they're much more controlled and they're much more kept away from everybody. I saw that in my era. I was a publicist in the 80s, and that was when they were starting to control celebrity access. And partly for good reasons, but partly I think that lost something. Baseball players, you people go to the baseball stadium and the guy would come by and sign your baseball on the way out. Now he wants $50. It became a business transaction, and they separated themselves from the public, and I think that was a mistake.
So let's go back to our club 55.
All right, tell me some people who walked through the door.
Bardot,
Brigitte
first
Bardot.
place. So some of the celebrity I served there several times.
Some. He says some. Some. A few.
A few
that pop into my head.
Yeah. One, George Hamilton.
For who?
George Hamilton.
Oh, George Hamilton. Yes. Sometimes I have to hear you say it a couple times here. George Hamilton, of course, with the eternal suntan.
Yeah. Okay. You know why?
No.
When he was there at the Club 55, he used to show up late, like at 3 p.m., and put his face in one specific table where the sun, like
You're kidding. He even had to get sun when he was sitting at the table.
like at 3 p.m. He didn't want too hard of the sun to go protect his skin. And I knew exactly what he wanted to eat. He wanted to have a basket of carrots.
A basket of carrots?
Every day was he eating 5, 6 carrots.
Oh my goodness, I wonder why.
I say, why do you eat carrots? It's for my tan.
You're kidding. That acts to your tan or something? Because that's what he was known for. That was his look, being super tanned all the time.
And then the owner even made fun of him. Say, George, can you show me the palm of your hands?
They were tan too? Oh my
they
goodness.
were kind of carrot-like
Yeah,
color.
right.
So, but very nice guy.
Okay, George Hamilton eating carrots.
Alone. Uh, and
That's a strange story. Okay.
yeah, and well, carrot is good for you, I guess.
I guess, but I
And
didn't think anybody would eat a whole basket of them.
and Petula Clark.
I love Petula Clark. Oh my
It
goodness.
was so
Don't
special.
sleep in the subway and
Yeah.
downtown.
Downtown. Yeah, that's what she was very famous for that.
She was real big in France too,
Yeah.
as I recall, because she could speak her French. I think she was married to a Frenchman, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So she used to be on French TV a lot in France. Yeah.
And I served a couple of times in Lyon and in Saint-Tropez, Jane Birkin
Jane Birkin, that's another actress. Yeah.
and her husband, Serge Gainsbourg,
I
very
don't know.
famous
Okay.
singer, a music, songwriter. And I was kind of a private cater for two well-known book writers, Larry Collins and Dominique Lapierre. They wrote and then there became a movie called East Paris Burning.
It was Paris Burning. I think I remember that movie. I
It's a
forgot.
movie to watch, really special.
Okay.
And so
You were
they
there.
were very nice people, and so so that's the most important people I served there. And beside that, there were some other French people that not
Which
everybody knows.
impressed you more, the French celebrities or the American celebrities? Probably the French.
Oh, the French, but the French very discreet.
Hmm.
And not that the American people that I met were to
Showy or
show
outgoing.
off.
or,
Yeah. I actually it's very similar, like when I was at Pascal, the I had a good conversation with Quincy Jones.
Quincy Jones?
Yeah.
Oh, now you're impressing me again here. Hey, Quincy. Hey, how's that? You going to produce another Michael Jackson Thriller album here? Yeah.
Yeah, he was so nice, and if you didn't know who he was, doesn't matter. He was very humble, and we had normal conversation.
Did you know who he was? Did you recognize? Because he's a famous record producer.
Yeah.
And he's identifiable, but maybe not an instantly identifiable
Actually, I
person.
was told he was coming,
Mm.
and but he was very nice, and he loved France. I think at that time he was married to a French woman as well, and
He was married to Peggy Lipton for years from the Mod
Oh, yeah.
Squad. That was
Yeah,
another
yeah.
movie, a TV series I grew up watching.
and so so it was very very special. And we used to come regularly.
To Pascal's?
To
No.
Pascal. Brooke Shield.
Brooke Shields?
Yes.
I thought she lived up in like Malibu. I saw her once on a beach at
She
Malibu.
used to come maybe because she has family down there.
Maybe, yeah.
And she wanted to have a nice little quiet table, and
So do her press people, because we used to do this, sometimes we would call ahead and we would tell you so-and-so's coming, please put them in some discreet place, or
no,
they would just show up.
they tell you the first time and then you remember. No.
Because that is one of the benefits of being a celebrity. Every celebrity I've ever said is, what do you like about being a celebrity?
Yeah.
Getting a good table and getting good service. When you're recognized, the line parts and Quincy Jones or Petula Clark or whoever else you're rattling off here, they don't want to just stand there in a long line with 10 people and there's Quincy Jones waiting for a table. That's the one time they kind of flex their muscles and say, hey, it's Quincy Jones here. Oh, right away, Mr. Jones, let's get you in here.
And one that I knew because I recognized mostly his voice, and he used to come regularly, John Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones
James Earl
with the voice of Darth Vader.
Yeah, amazing. It was so nice, him and his wife, and I knew they always have a little another table that they liked, and because I think they came from up north, maybe.
You would think they all live up in Beverly Hills or someplace.
No,
in
not
LA.
really. More close to Santa Monica. Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay, or
Yeah.
that whole area from Santa
Yeah.
Brentwood, Santa Monica,
And
Beverly Hills.
but they didn't mind the drive, and they
That's
just
quite
went.
a testament to you that they would come all the way down for this
Yeah.
food.
Yes, and it was so nice, so nice.
So here's the question I have to ask. So we'll get it back to the theme of the show, what it's like to run restaurants today and be behind the kitchen doors. Is three questions. One, does the staff react? Do you put on a special show? Do you do something better for these people because they're famous, because they're recognized, because you feel like I got to up my game, or do they just get the same old that everybody else is getting here?
I've never asked for, let's say, oh, let's put caviar on this, and
Yeah,
um,
put a little special touch on this. Yeah.
gold pedal on this. No, I, I just, if I knew, I tell my staff that, hey, you have so and so, and they become proud of it.
That's exactly it.
And by being proud, they're going to step up on their own
Right,
to
exactly.
make sure. Oh, I don't
Everything
want to,
comes out right to
I,
serve right.
I don't want to mess it up, and then I can remember for the rest of my life.
Right.
And one day, I was in a shop next door on busy because it was an early dinner, very early, like 5:30 p.m.
Okay.
And someone said, "Look over there." Say, and it was Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow, another Paltrow, yeah, another big one.
And
Okay.
she was very nice. I went to the table and see if everything was
So the
fine.
second question is then do you acknowledge them? Do you come over as the owner, as the chef, and say welcome?
Well, them, them on all my customers. I used to go to every single
Right.
table, so people
You're floating
people
around anyway.
next to them don't say, "Hey, am I nobody? You
Yeah,
can come
exactly.
to my table." No, you're the same. Paul Robert, oh, nice to see you again.
Have you met Gwyneth Paltrow? No, Gwyneth, how are you?
Yeah,
Oh,
let
nice
me
to meet
let
you.
me tell you who's next to you. Yeah,
Gwyneth. Have you met Paul Roberts here? I don't know if you've seen him on OC Talk
I
Radio.
heard about him.
I heard him. I've heard the voice.
Yeah, the boys.
Um,
And one day at the club 55, uh, my the owner Patrice said, "Pascal, I have a special guest. I want to be more on the side, because I don't want to be seen." Say, "Okay, this is Bono."
Bono,
Yeah,
U2,
yeah.
famous rock singer.
And I didn't even know who Bono was.
Okay, Mr. Bono.
1983, it was
At the height of their fame, yeah.
more beginning at the height.
U2.
And so, okay, we're fine. So it was very nice. And
There must be celebrities that come in like that you don't know who they are.
yeah, yeah.
And people say, "Don't you know who that is? That's one of the biggest rock singers in the world." No, I'm
Mhm.
sorry, I don't know who he is.
And so now, and then I moved to California because I had a little, let's go to Hollywood. And
Was it that? We've
me-
never really talked about why leave Saint Tropez. This is heaven. You're
Well,
well, and
because the closest thing for me to the celebrity world is Los Angeles, Hollywood. That's
it's still the Mecca. It's still the center.
the French love that. They're just and they're very attached to Hollywood. And even though you go to Hollywood, you don't see many of them, or even if they live in Orange County, the
It's
celebrities.
hard to see
don't see
celebrities.
it.
There aren't many places you can regularly go. The Polo Lounge used to be one. There are a couple places where they will kind of gather and let it be known that they're going to be
Yeah.
there. But most of it, you drive around Beverly Hills, you don't see anybody.
Oh,
You don't just
yeah,
see them
you
out in the yard. Hey, that's Bono in
Yeah,
his
you
front
can
yard.
go to the Mandarin for that, well, but here after I moved to my restaurant, then I have all type of celebrity from
Can I tell you just quickly? I used to have an office right on Sunset. I had a couple offices right on Sunset. And so we used to go as a group to go eat at Hamburger Hamlet, which I don't know if it's still
Yeah.
there. And it was a famous kind of just joint. And it was right next to a couple of big office towers just before you enter Beverly Hills Formal. which everything stops, all the commercial stops right there. So it's right at the end of that Sunset Strip. And I saw more celebrities. People would always ask me, where do you see celebrities? At Hamburger Hamlet, I'd see people like Dustin Hoffman and just on and on and on. And the other crazy one is, I'll tell you the other one. When I first got the job as an entertainment publicist, my boss takes me out. And he takes me to, I'm sure you've heard of this, Pink's Hot Dogs. I'm sure it's still there. The most famous hot dog stand on Melrose, I think it was. And just a little hot dog cart, and somehow it was famous, and everybody went there. And my boss is telling me, there's lots of celebrities that come to. I said, nobody comes to Pink's Hot Dog, just in a parking lot here and a thing. And he says, oh yeah, like Robert Wagner comes here. And I start saying loudly, Robert Wagner wouldn't be caught dead at Pink's Hot Dog. And he makes a big smile, and the guy turns around in front of me and smiles. It's Robert Wagner.
Yeah, he was on the break. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because they would come over from the studio and they grab a hot dog. Right?
Amazing.
So, but my boss is leading me to say that I'm looking like a fool. He would never be seen dead, and there he is right in front of me. I didn't even recognize
Now you
him.
feel like you're eating $1 million meal.
I felt like it was 2 inches tall, like a jerk.
No, it's wonderful. So now, I moved to Orange County and Newport Beach.
Why come down to Orange County? Because we've talked about this many times. This was a cultural wasteland. This was suburbia. This was endless fast food. There was no fine dining when you and a handful of other Bruno and some of your other pals and with Chanticleer or
Maybe
whatever.
inside me, I knew they needed me.
Yeah, I mean, you can count on one hand the number of fine dining restaurants here, the Five Crowns or whatever.
I talked about that before when I heard the people used to say, "Oh, you don't have to cook real French. Nobody knows about anything about French cuisine."
No,
but so
they knew French fries. That's all they knew.
But this is actually connected to Club 55.
Okay,
that's the reason I came here, because one of my customer client on guest used to own a river boat company, and his son moved to the U.S. and opened up a little restaurant on Balboa Island. And he knew that because my work in Saint-Tropez was seasonal. Okay.
Well, yeah, right.
It was from Easter to the end of September.
Right.
And then so in the winter, I had time to travel. So I said, hey, I will go visit him in the winter. I came, I worked in that little restaurant, went back to France, and then one day they called me.
I didn't think you said travel. I thought you said trouble. That was your time for trouble. The winter.
Yeah. My trouble time is traveling. So I went to that the little restaurant called Paula's, and I became a chef, and then suddenly I got my first newspaper or magazine article. I'm kind of a little say, hey, maybe that
something to watch.
Yeah. And so from then on, I went back to France. They called me back, said, we need you as a chef. And then never left.
Said, no way.
Yeah.
I knew restaurateurs in the 80s and 90s because I used to do some publicity for some bigger restaurants up in LA. And they were curious. There was money down here, but they didn't think there was a cultivated taste. That the people, when they're down here, just wanted beach food, fun food, simple food, fast food.
Actually,
there were a handful of places. The Five Crowns was, if you wanted steak and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but
Chanticleer maybe.
Once again, even in the 60s, thing like that, you had a lot of Hollywood celebrities. They were living on the coast. They even,
John Wayne lived down here.
Yeah,
Bogart lived down here.
They even built their own villas on the coastline.
Right.
And I've been to some houses that have been
But
built.
they kind of wanted to be alone, so when they went out, it was kind of to the shack. It was to the woody shack over on the Coast Highway or something here.
And so they came down, and there was the weekend house, beach house.
Right.
And so
For
So,
many years, it always surprised me Malibu didn't have really fine dining. There were some good places, but there was an awful lot of just sort of little local hangouts. I can't think of the real famous restaurants in LA were more like Sunset Strip,
yeah,
Beverly Hills,
yeah.
maybe downtown a few times, but it wasn't where they lived. It wasn't necessarily up the
Well,
coast in Malibu.
fortunately for them, the restaurant famous, they have their own staff.
Yes, that's true
So
too.
they don't really have to go out every night. They have chef and servers, and
And then somewhere along the way in that 80s and 90s, you guys became celebrities. The TV shows
oh,
and all the other
the
stuff.
the Food Network just bang, just put the chef on the map.
And all these guys you knew, Michel Richard,
Yes.
Wolfgang Puck. I'm just thinking the ones I knew up in L.A. here that got Joachim Splichal down here and stuff. And
Jeremiah Town.
yeah,
And,
and suddenly everybody was coming because their name was on the door to see them, to watch them cook, and they wanted to meet the chef. You were certainly a celebrity down here and still are down here, but
Joachim Spiegel with Patina Group,
yes.
and these guys are unbelievable. So go back to the how people outside of just cooking.
Hmm.
Because not only writers and movie stars and singers serve, also I was kind of a little hub for professional tennis players.
Professional tennis players.
Yeah, yeah,
That was your specialty. Okay, you
And-
served what they were serving. Yeah, right.
yeah.
They were serving in the court. You're serving in the tennis. All right, so name me some tennis players here.
Well, one was really my regular. I still live in Orange County, and Roy Emerson.
Okay, don't. I'm not a big
Very
tennis buff.
famous.
Okay,
He's probably the one who still on the top of the chart for the
the greats.
great
Okay,
match.
I know very little about
yeah.
tennis, so I'll
Yeah.
take your word for it.
Jim Carrier.
Jim who?
Jim Carrier.
Don't know. So you're going to name people I don't even. I'm be unimpressed because I don't know them.
And a local one from Newport Beach, Lindsay. She was Lindsay Davenport.
That one I've heard of. Yeah,
Yes.
let's see Davenport.
And on one, you must know him. Bjorn Borg.
Oh well, beyond Borg. Now he was because he was a celebrity, hung out with beautiful women and stuff
Well,
too.
yeah. Well, I have to, as a man, I have to say he was good looking.
As a man, I have to. Only the Frenchman would say. I have to say he's a good look. No, we would never say that.
And
we
with-
might think that.
With his bandana.
Yeah, he was
no,
quite the. He cut
he
quite
was
the figure.
very
Bjorn Borg.
special. And so actually, I have a little story.
All right,
with him. It was so nice.
a Bjorn Borg story. Just we've gone from Brigitte Bardot to Bjorn Borg.
Yes, and at the end, I visit the table and we talk and say, "Oh, chef, why don't you sit down? We're going to play a game."
What?
I guess he loved games.
Okay.
And say, "Fine." And those little game, you put 4 or 5, because at that time we still have matches.
Okay. So
And from 4 or 5 matches, you have to build something.
okay, all these silly bar games. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And you're allowed to do only 2 or 3 moves.
Okay.
And I did it just like that.
Of course.
You look at me and say, first time someone do it so quickly. So
Actually, Bjorn Borg was on our show years ago, and he told that story about you.
No. Let's do it again.
Let's do it again. So the takeaway is they're just like regular people, but it is something special. It puts a glow on the staff.
Yeah.
It makes you feel important that people who could eat anywhere and try anything have chosen your food, particularly if
Yes.
they come back. What about if they're difficult? People, because celebrities can be difficult and demanding, and some of them can be jerks. They're not all wonderful.
They're not jerk. They know what they want, and you do anything you can to give them what they want.
That's what you said. You actually said before we started the show, you appreciate
Yeah.
demanding people.
It's
They know what they want.
it's a challenge,
Yeah.
It's like in sport, hey,
Got to up your game.
yeah, okay, I'm going to be careful. But if you push me on the corner of the tennis court, I'm going to send it back on your other corner.
Because some people, I could tell you many, we all tell the funny stories. I could tell you the not funny stories where you're like, oh my God, I don't want to work with that person ever again. Difficult, demanding, got to be the center of attention. There's some of that too. Those don't last. The ones that last are usually gracious. They are humble. They might have certain demands, but they don't make you feel bad. They don't yell at you.
No,
They
no.
don't say, "Hey,
Well,
jerk, do you know who I am?"
no, that's a that's an you just break the relationship
Yeah,
right there.
you're right. You've ruined it. And there are, I think, more today celebrities because they come up quickly and they go
Yeah.
down quickly,
Yeah,
and it's supposed to be you're supposed to be sort of aggressive and gangster and tough and everything, and it's all about me and social media. I suspect haven't met many young celebrities, but
and celebrities, they know they've been lucky to become famous because
absolutely.
it's such a hard place to succeed.
And they need your attention. The minute you don't care, the minute they turn everybody off, if you do it, I always said you could tell a celebrity by how they treat, and this isn't my quote, this is other people. I think this is the great Johnny Carson's quote. He would look and see how they treated other people on his staff.
Oh,
And
yeah.
if they were demanding or mean or put them down, he
That's-
wouldn't have them back again.
No,
I don't need that. I don't want my staff to feel that way, and you're not that important to me.
yes, exactly.
So
So actually, Jack Nicholson has some good scenes in a couple of movies where he kind of judged a waitress, a server, and amazing. But another man that I cooked for on a small catering. Well, you remember Cliff?
who?
Cliff,
Cliff?
yes,
Cliff who?
from France.
Oh, Cliff from the show Cheers.
Cheers.
John Ratzenberger.
John Ratzenberger.
Yeah,
Very nice guy.
he
Very-
seemed like a nice guy. I never met him,
yeah,
but
it was very nice.
you know, and that is people say if they ever ask me questions, I'm happy like you to tell my celebrity stories because it was a special time in my life when I was rubbing shoulders with these people, even though I was working for them. The better ones didn't make you feel like a servant; they made you feel like, part of the team or whatever. Anyway, some of the celebrities I met were exactly in real life, at least they portrayed just what you saw on the screen. Some of them were the absolute opposite. They'd be so wonderful, and then off screen they're so mean and nasty and everything.
And I believe some of the famous ones, like Jack Nicholson, you could tell he was exactly the same.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
And those are the best. Those are the
own
ones
life.
to me that last long, and they have a good reputation. Because if they're that way with you and me, they're also that way with the staff on the film or on the TV set.
Yeah.
If you're a jerk, people quickly start pushing you out. There's only so much tolerance. Talent, yes, gives you you get away with certain things.
Yeah.
And if you're famous and whatever, but by and large, you don't last. One way to end your career is to be a jerk to everybody on the way up because you're going to see them on the way down.
You know who was very nice too?
Who's that?
Even play because he's a big player. Even in his home, he has an arcade and to play games, arcade game.
What kind of game?
Arcade. Arcade game.
Croquet, you mean?
Arcade. You play pinball and things like that.
Yeah.
No, that's
Pinball, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, arcade.
Arcade,
Arcade games,
yes.
okay.
Drew Carey.
Drew Carey, okay. Never met Drew Carey.
And I played with him, spent some time. He was very competitive. It was.
I know some people that knew Drew Carey, worked on his show. A friend of mine's wife was
Yeah.
the set designer on that show.
Yeah.
He had a reputation for being a nice guy. Some of these people just build reputations
Yeah.
for being nice guys. Jimmy Stewart, certainly in the old days. I think Tom Hanks has that reputation. I've never met Tom Hanks, but yeah, and clearly.
Jim Carrey too.
Jim Carrey, okay.
Very
that's
nice.
a funny one.
I'll
I'll tell you the funny thing about the Jim Carrey. I don't know this to be Jim Carrey, but I one time casually met Robin Williams, and at a restaurant, and he was not fun. I knew his publicist. In real life, he was very calm. On stage, he was frantic, manic, whatever. He was the opposite, they always said, in real life. He was very quiet, shy almost. Something about performing brought it out in him, but he didn't walk around. You expect him to do something zany, crazy all the time. He wasn't that way. I don't think.
This he probably learned that at the drama school.
Yeah, he did go to the Yale Drama School, right?
A professional actor.
Yeah, he could turn it on. Something about this brought out a side in him that he was actually, in real life, pretty quiet and.
Except when he laughed and smiled, you cannot fake that.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey was.
I would expect Jim Carrey. Well, we don't have time to go through all these. Are just some of the celebrities Pascal's met. The celebrities he rubs shoulders with. Celebrity chefs. Celebrity actors.
Can I talk about some politic people?
No, another show. Who do you just real quick?
Okay.
Give us some quick
George Bush Jr.
George Bush Jr. Of
Very
course.
nice. A great time. And Elon Musk.
Elon Musk?
Yes.
When did you meet Elon Musk?
Well, I was a political dinner, and then and him and I did a little speech, and we were next to each other. And
what a name dropper.
We exchanged a few words.
What a name dropper. This all started because when I met Pascal, he casually told me he once served Brigitte Bardot. He just worked that into the conversation sometime. And since then, I've been waiting to hear the stories of Brigitte Bardot. We mourn her passing. We celebrate her life. This is like an Irish wake. We're laughing and telling stories afterwards here.
And thank you, Brigitte, because she actually put the French movie industry, French movie celebrities on the map.
She did.
And is part of the French culture.
Part of the French culture really was. She exported everything French was cool and chic because of Brigitte.
One more thing.
All right.
Brigitte Bardot.
Yes.
She has a foundation.
Oh, yes. Let's give that
very
out.
Very important.
Because her work continues with animals, and we'd
like to. She's a big animal activist.
Right.
And so it's the foundation, Foundation, F-O-N,
Foundation, right.
Foundation Brigitte Bardot. And you can download
in honor
the
from memory, in honor of the smile she put on everybody's face, and the work she did on screen and off screen.
Yes.
We want to honor the great Brigitte Bardot. Too many people today, too quickly we forget celebrities from 20, 30 years ago. She was an icon like Marilyn Monroe, and a national treasure in France.
The foundation's still growing, and so you can make donation and save, rescue
animals and help animals. A good cause. My mother would be happy to hear that.
And elephants, and all that, on the protection of fishing. She was.
Brigitte Bardot. I invited the chef to come on today. We had no guests. I said, I want to hear Brigitte Bardot, and he said, well, I have many celebrities. I said, well, we'll talk about all that, what it's like to serve celebrities. And it certainly can put a restaurant on the map if people see celebrities there. But you have to handle it like the real people. You have to be willing to handle the challenges that come with it. And don't just cash in on it and take their picture and run and tell the paper that Brigitte Bardot was here.
And not many celebrities have a legacy. So this is a legacy. The Foundation Brigitte Bardot, that's our legacy.
Too many celebrities are instant celebrities, and so they go up and they come down rather quickly here. But there were, in those days, I'm going to date myself, I'm an old crabby guy, we had celebrities, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, all these ones that you rattle off here. Today, I don't know, today's celebrity would be tomorrow's footnote or forgotten personality. They come up so fast, and there's so few to me that are really worthy of that star image. But those were stars that you rattled off here. And you're a star. You're a superstar here in Orange County. We're privileged to have you with us here and to share these stories. Really, it's a kick to hear who you met and who you know.
And hopefully all this will be part of my cookbook if one day...
we're writing the cookbook as we speak here. Yes. We're talking it out here.
Right.
We're going to get all of it. Thank you so much, Chef Pascal, for sharing your memories. How many people in Orange County can say they met Brigitte and served Brigitte Bardot? Nobody except Chef Pascal. Thanks for joining us here today.
You're welcome.
Well, we do so much more on this show. We really do talk about what it takes to start a kitchen and run a kitchen and to be in the business today, harder than ever, with more opportunities in some ways than ever. But I still got to take a chance once in a while and talk about the stories, because we have a storied chef here behind the kitchen doors. Thanks for joining us. Join us as we'll share some more stories coming up right here in Orange County's only community radio station, OC Talk Radio, streaming live from our studios here at the University of California Irvine's Beale Applied Innovation Center.